Welcome back to Explain America. This is your host, Kyle Becker. The U.S. Supreme Court is poised to drop a bombshell on our elections. This will have the radical Democrats scrambling because, let's face it, blue states across America have changed their election laws to benefit them, and they are not always what's best for America or for free and fair elections. But before we break down this SCOTUS ruling that is coming soon, likely to be before the midterm elections, please like, share, and comment at Explain America. Join us. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. The U.S. Supreme Court has mostly sided with the Trump agenda throughout his second term. And so Democrats are on pins and needles about a decision the Supreme Court just made to hear a case, and that is a challenge to a federal law that blocks states from counting mail-in ballots that officials receive after Election Day. As you may know, federal election law sets the Tuesday after the first Monday in November every 4 years as the election day for federal offices. That's according to the petition. Now, the background on this is the chaos we saw during the 2020 election. That's when Pennsylvania's mail-in ballot deadline was extended by the Supreme Court to November 9th, and that was 4 days after Election Day. And due to widespread post office delays, they accepted postmarked ballots. And so the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, they attempted to uphold this ruling. They were smacked down by the Supreme Court, and that a new wrinkle in all of this is that they wanted to count undated or misdated envelopes. There was a legal battle, and eventually it went to provisional ballots, which upheld approximately 9,000 ballots in that election. So the big deal about this is that Pennsylvania just had an off-year election, and they retained 3 Democratic judges that have terms of 10 years. So we could have expected more election year shenanigans in the 2026 midterm elections. But the Supreme Court, they are poised to hear this case. They are likely to make a decision in June of 2026. That's in time for the midterm elections. So what we need to do is to get more laws on the books that rule out post-dated mail-in ballots. We are highly suspicious of the Democratic Party because they keep blocking common sense election reforms such as voter ID, which is supported by over the great majority of Americans, including Black Americans and Latin Americans, and essentially all demographics support voter IDs in elections. And we saw the consequences of that in the 2024 election with Kamala Harris. Most of her states she won was without voter IDs at all. And of course, those are liberal-leaning states. But nonetheless, we need to reform this practice. The overwhelming majority of countries in the world have voter IDs in their elections. That's in the developed world, Europe, and the technologically advanced countries in Asia. So, what do you think about this story? The Supreme Court, they need to get more laws on the books. They need to have a single election day, as far as I'm concerned. Unless you are a veteran or you are disabled or very elderly, I don't think you should be able to just skip out and mail in a ballot whenever you want. There's too many things that can go wrong. Signature matching is not that strong in some of these states. There are dirty voter rolls. There are all sorts of issues. So weigh in with your own thoughts. What do you think about all of these mail-in ballots and about the Supreme Court ruling? Let's hope for the best, and let's see more election integrity.